bravefathers.com.
Welcome to the Brave Fathers Show. And now, the prophecy.
Yes. How do you build your life back after she cheats on you? How do you build your life back after you lose access to your children? How do you become a more powerful man than you have ever been? How do you get your strength back? How do you get your self-respect back? If you lost half of your shit, how do you get your money back? Double it, triple it, multiply times 4, maybe times 100. How do you do that? My name is John Paul. Welcome to the Brave Father Show. I bring you the truth and I bring you the prophecy. So today we are going to talk about how fathers can get back on track after everything went wrong, right? After she lied to you, she cheated on you, you woke up one day and she's gone with the kids, the day before everything was perfect, or the week before, or the month before. We are going to talk about all that. Now, I promise you 3 things. 1, you'll get some answers. 2, you are going to hate some of the stuff I say because I'm going to tell you the truth that hurts. And 3, believe in yourself. You can do it. We are here to make it happen. Listen, I need my magic candles and I need my hourglass. Yes, we're on. Let's get this show popping. Let's get this show popping. Let's talk about the important stuff today. Let's get men back on track. Let's get the fathers back on track. Let's get ourselves back on track. All right. So why is this important? As you may be aware, a lot of fathers go through a lot of pain. We have people ending their lives. We have people checking out. People going to the depression. Some go into post-traumatic stress disorder or complex post-traumatic stress disorder, have a lot of complications and just struggle to get out, right? I remember back in the day when my situation started at first, I was so broken down. I was weeping, I was crying, I was confused, I was disoriented. But I'll tell you one thing. That night when I knew I was done, I had the best sleep of my life. I remember that night I slept so good because I wasn't stressed about anything. I wasn't worried about anything. I just had let go of everything. Yes, I knew there was a lot of things ahead of me at the time, and obviously still are. I'm still here, thanks to the Lord Almighty. And that was the best sleep I can think of. When I think of a night I really slept well, it was that night. And that was because deep inside, on the core of my being, I had made a decision. I decided I was going to do my best. I was going to move forward. I was going to have a better life than I ever had. I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to be who I am. And there's nothing better and more important than that. It took me a while to get there, though. I was preparing to leave. I could see everything going wrong. I could see the things. I knew I was not going to tolerate that situation for long because of what was going on. I wasn't going to do it. That was not the life I am destined to live. So I had to find a better way. But that does not mean I didn't have my downtimes. I had days, many times, when I wanted to end it all. The emotional pain, the stress was so much that I just had no willingness to carry on because I thought I was just going to go through more pain. If you play video games, if you play Fortnite, like when you get into the storm and you just if you get too far in the storm, you're just feeling the pain of it, right? You're just getting damage on yourself and you want to get out, but it looks like it's too far. Luckily for us, for most of us, and I'd like to believe all of us, we don't have to get stuck in that pain. You can get a life that was better than it has ever been. Now, even if you are going through court right now, if you are going through proceedings, you can still find a way forward, even if everything is looking wrong. If you are in a position where it seems that it's never going to get better, you have to keep going, because those are the toughest times, but those who make it through are the ones who reap the rewards. Now, I don't want to get preachy on you, but I do recall reading a story of Job in the Bible where he lost everything and then God gave him more than he ever had before. So that's a very good story of an example of when you get tested by life. Now, I remember another thing that is important here is that I moved into this nice apartment, right? When they showed it to me, I was like, oh, I'm surely somebody's gonna make a better offer than I am. I'm not gonna get it, but I got it, and I loved it, and everybody loved it. It was perfect for parties, perfect for hosting guests, um, uh, just a nice environment for me to get my brain back together. And that was shortly after I had gone through shelters, having nowhere to go. Literally, I was really struggling with that regard. I don't want to go into that story now, but it was a lot. It was difficult, and people just can't imagine what that was like. And that's the story for another time for the future, not for today. But needless to say, it was quite a. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold, I think, or some allergies, and it was a very difficult period of time for me. But I came out, got this lovely apartment, went out to bars, met some lovely ladies. We had great time. I was seeing a few women at the same time. I was honest about it. I'm always honest about it. It was a great time for me in that regard. But at the same time, I was going through pain, right? Also, because I was going through family court and I was facing a lot of difficulties in that regard. But I had made up my mind I was not going to make myself a victim, and I was not going to make myself an easy target. What you have to do is to become a moving target. What do I mean? You are a target because you are being targeted by your ex, by the court system, and so forth. But they can't be able to pin you down. One thing I've noticed, and this is one of the biggest and most important things I've noticed, is that the system relies on you being stuck. The system relies on you being helpless. So, for example, in the UK, they've devoted 3.6 million pounds towards preventing men ending their lives. Right? That's people will argue it's a small amount. I don't think it's a small amount. I think it's more than enough, and I'll come to that in a moment. But the reason that budget is small, apparently they spend more money on catering, on food that they shit out in the House of Commons in a year than what they've dedicated to men, right? Now, the reason why this matters, it shows you how little regard our systems, our Western systems have for men. That's very unfortunate that that's how little they think of us. But it does not matter, because we are bigger than that. We transcend that. So we have to be able to move. So if today you are here, tomorrow will be here, then there, until they can't comprehend what's going on with you. They are going to try to take advantage of you in many, 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 many different ways. That they are going to do. So you have to accept that as a reality, but don't get so weak that you can't overcome these things. It's very sad. It makes me angry when I think about it. It's almost as if they want us to be a slave class, as if they want men to fail, to be themselves, so the system can control them. And I think a lot of these things in our system are designed for men to give up hope, to become helpless, and to become weak. And that's how they get to take advantage of you. But I'm saying, keep going and get stronger regardless, and we shall figure it out. Now, the reason why I said the money dedicated towards men is not small is, if you give more money, it will attract the wrong kind of people into it. And it will be their incentive to keep the situation bad, because when it's bad, they make more money. The reason why men are not happy is not because the government is not spending money on some bullshit organization, putting flyers and posters and getting us to sit in a circle and talk about our troubles. That's not what we need. That's not our trouble. We don't need the government to do that. If we wanted to sit in a fucking circle and talk about our troubles, we just do it. And sometimes we have a few beers or some, something stronger with our friends or colleagues and do that if we want to do that. We don't need the government's help to put us in a fucking circle and cry, right? So we don't need funding for that bullshit. We have core problems that are in the system that affect us. But those things only exist when we allow our state of mind to be stuck there, to be stuck, to feel helpless. That helplessness is prevalent now because people say, what can we do? The system won't change and we cannot change. But the truth is we can't change. We must change. The few of us who are willing to put in the work, we must do it. So when you get your life together, regardless of what happens, that's how you win. That's when your children finally come back to you, they realize, wow, that's my dad, and I missed out. And it's painful, but at least you can get back together, you can rebuild your life with them, you can teach them something, you can show them, you can still be a father, even when they're not around. Right? Because when they come in contact with you, you have so many experiences to share with them, so much to teach them, so much to show them. You can put them on a path that they could never have had without you. So listen, it's painful and it's hard and it's difficult, but get bigger, faster, stronger, and enjoy yourself. You still deserve something good, especially if she cheated on you. Get women, and we talk about that as well, that are better, sexier, lovelier, more pleasant, more attractive. The woman that you are like, wow, why did I even ever get with her? Okay, no disrespect, because I know these are the mothers of our children, but we also have to be honest and say we could have done better. Well, obviously, we wouldn't be in this situation if we had done better, right? So it is the truth. Any woman who takes advantage of the system to coerce a man to end up, spending money on her financially, supporting her while she takes away his children from him and tries to ruin his life, she does not deserve you. You have to accept that this is not it. Because without accepting that the situation is bad, you don't make a plan to move forward, right? So there are three areas that we have to address the most, right? So we talk about the court process itself last. So that will be the fourth thing. But the three things in your life that are outside of the court, right? So obviously, the first thing is your health, your physical well-being. Now, I have to confess, I had a little bit of more sugar today. I've been doing really well. I've cut down at least 90% of the sugar I was consuming, if not more. I had a stupid idea today of just do what I used to do, which is like eat a bit more sweet things than usual, and I don't like the feeling now. So that's why I fucked up, I messed up. But I'm doing well. Gym, I don't like going to the gym. I like exercising on my own. I have to do more exercise as well, so that's an area I'm working on as well. But that's your number one thing, because it's going to get you in the right mindset. If you drink, cut down on your drinking. I like my whiskey every now and then. I really like it, and a good beer. But at this stage, we need to sort of cut it down to build up a more powerful physique, a more powerful mental well-being. Because if your body feels good, your mind will feel even better, right? It's important. That's the number one thing. So, look, you don't have to become a bodybuilder or anything, but at least some walking, some jogging, some kind of weight training or calisthenics, push-ups, pull-ups, something, right? Just get yourself moving, get that blood flowing, get yourself feeling, because when you do the jiggy jiggy, you need that strength because you're gonna meet more women, right? Even if you think you're not, if you roll with me, you are. So you're gonna need it. You're gonna need to find that strength, and it will give you confidence as well. So Look for good resources. But even without resources, your common sense will tell you. You can go into your kitchen, you can or wherever you are. Because I remember a time I didn't even have a kitchen, right? I had nothing. But look at what you do, what you eat, how you carry your body, and say, okay, what is the one thing I can start changing right now? And do that. Just one little thing, you know. I used to drink too much coffee. I've been able to cut that down as well. So help with my sleep, right? Like I said, sugar has been a big problem for me, and I've been able to cut it down, and I'm gonna cut it down even more. But today I really indulge myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have done that. I'm really angry with myself for that, but I'm gonna forgive myself. So yeah, so your health, right? And then your mind as well. You need to find time to grieve. You really need to find time to grieve. Mental health is not about thinking about your problems. It's not about talking about your problems. It's about resolving the trauma that comes out of those problems, letting it go. And I've realized that a lot of people are not aware of this concept. They don't realize that you can let go of a lot of pain, even if it's really, really hard and difficult and numbing and it gets to you so bad, you can still let go of it. You can definitely let go of it. You can, and you should, cry by yourself. Rip it all out. Let it flow, right? Let it go. Find time just for that, for facing the pain, sitting with the pain. Find time to let go of the anxiety, but let yourself feel it because your emotions are indicators. They are like probes into the world. They inform you of things. They are not accurate mathematically, but they signal something is wrong somewhere. It could be within you, it could be external, but something is wrong. It could even be something that haunts you from your past, maybe something you were confused about and you need some insight about. And that is a key point because the system relies on you being in a trauma state, right? When we go to court, we hear the false allegations, we hear the lies. What do? We start getting upset, we start getting angry. The judge looks at us. Whoa, he looks like the type who would hurt someone, who would hurt his children's mother, right? Not because it's true, but because in that context, you just look like the angry person. And it's a limited time, it's a hearing that has a specific timeline. And within that context, that's the representation of yourself. But if you're able to walk in calmly and look reasonable, you'd be surprised at the things you get out of court. I recently had a conversation. Somebody told me, "Oh, I was just lucky that I got a lot of the things I got." But it's not luck. It's a lot of work. I had to put in a lot of work, and I still put in a lot of work to learn, to study, to be a better person, so that whatever attack comes at me, I have to deal with it, and I can deal with it, right? Because unfortunately, until the child is old enough to go on their own or to make a lot of their own decisions of where they want to be, you see some attacks. You will have some things happening to you. One thing you should definitely do, which I see a lot of people make that mistake, they still try to keep in touch with their ex. Don't do that. If if you can, use the parenting app so that those messages cannot be deleted. But once you have that app, remember those messages cannot be deleted. Therefore, only write simple logistical stuff. If you are picking up the kids, write, yes, I'll be there on this time. If there's something specific about the children to be discussed, keep it to that. And keep it short, keep it simple. Don't get engaged, don't get involved with any drama. No matter how angry you are, even if she says something disrespectful, keep it short. When you get to court, ask the judge to help you address it, to show that you are trying your best. Those little things make a big difference because unfortunately, doing this work, I've realized that a lot of fathers remain in a state of anger, bitterness, and rage sometimes. And they keep searching for justice where there isn't any. They keep searching for closure from outside. You're not going to get it. So um, you have to resolve it, because if you don't, the judge will see you as somebody who's essentially angry. And I've seen that a lot of fathers are not able to let go of that, which keeps them stuck, which keeps them making decisions that they shouldn't do. I made a video recently. Don't accept negative terms like restraining orders or non-molestation orders and so forth. Don't accept those things. Fight to prove the reality. Of course, prepare and make an effort, but by all means fight. But how are you gonna win a fight against a non-molestation order or against a restraining order if you walk into the court angry and you look upset? You look like somebody who would do something crazy. I'm not saying you would. I'm saying that's the appearance, right? So doing this work, I realized that when we present ourselves that way, it just perpetuates the stereotypes. It perpetuates the myths. So if more fathers started going to the courts calmly, the system will have to start changing, because it will look ridiculous for them to make certain decisions. It is already ridiculous, but when we look angry and act angry, it makes it justified or appear justified or at least justifiable. So your mental state, your emotional state is all part of your health. So exercise, find some stuff you really love to do, right? That you've delayed, you've procrastinated all your life. Do it now. Whether it's, you play chess, you want to fix a car that you really like, maybe a classic car, maybe you want to build a house with your own hands, you draw, I don't know what it is you do. Maybe it's bodybuilding, making a movie, racing. I had a client, he was good with canoes, like going on a canoe journey and that. Um, uh, uh, I had one who was also good with cars, different, like those are some of the hobbies that, when you could actually share them with the world, but you don't have to. So what you want to do is do things for yourself. Do things just for yourself. Have a budget. Even if you are dead broke, have a small budget for you, just for you, that has no other purpose than that enjoyment at that moment. Do that, because you have to learn how to give to yourself so that the world can give to you, so I can be grateful for everything you have got. Because if you are able to hear my words right now, that's a lot, because there's people who are not here with us anymore, right? Because they couldn't handle the situation. So you have to remain grateful. You have to remain grateful for what you've got. Build your health, build your strength, build your power. So that's the first thing. Now, the second two is your finances. Now, I'm not an expert, and it's something that I'm still working out. I'm still learning how to do it. But one thing I do know is, no matter how bad it is, be grateful that it's over. Because you are going to make more money now than you've ever made in your life if you give yourself the permission to do it. There's billions of dollars, pounds, and all kinds of other currencies available. That's one thing that I do know for sure. So you have to learn how to be in position to get some of it. You deserve it. That's for you. Now, I understand a lot of mothers get greedy. The good thing is you can build your business up as a corporation, right? You don't have to, if you make 1 million, you don't have to pay yourself 1 million. You can pay yourself 5,000 out of that, or 10,000, and use the rest to reinvest for a long time. You can build an empire whilst you do all this. And it's one thing that I think may keep you, or will keep you going, will give you something bigger than what's going on to concentrate your mind on. You have a chance to focus on something bigger than what you're going through right now. And you deserve that, and you need that, and you should give that to yourself. You really, really should. Uh, Again, I'm not an expert, but one of the books that has really opened my mind, and I've not finished reading it yet, but it's a really good book, is um, The Intelligent Investor by, I can't remember his first name, is Graham is the last name, I think. The Intelligent Investor. It's really opened my eyes, and I'm going to read that book. Actually, I decided to start reading it again from the beginning to understand what it's saying. But if you give yourself time, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you can build a big thing if you are patient and consistent. And it will seem counterintuitive to think so far ahead, but that's what will calm you down. That's what will stop you from rushing. That's what will stop you from expecting everything right away. And that's what will comfort you that there's something bigger waiting for you at the end of all this. You have to look forward to the future. You have to anchor yourself in a dream that keeps you alive, that keeps you going. You have to see yourself being able one day to show your children, look at what your dad has done. I'm your father. Not because of the money, but because you are the kind of man who follows through, who makes things happen, who brings things into existence, and let them see that, wow, that's my father. And I didn't get to see him. I didn't get to talk to him all this time. You have to give yourself that and give yourself that to your children. My nose is itching like a mother. Damn. So annoying. Look, get your finances in order. If you're in debt, contact a debt agency to let them help you out. Accept that, yes, it may be for a while that things will not be going well, but you have to build it up. If you already have loads of money, but you don't have time, then streamline what you're doing. I think I have to make another video, but there's people who are very good at teaching people how to streamline their time so that you can do more of what you really want to do. And if you want to multiply your wealth, do that. And again, thankfully it's over. I'm not sure if you watched that video where I'm sure it was a staged video, but apparently it's a true story. Why's my nose itching? Ouch! Oh my gosh. So this video, my mom used to say, when your nose is itching, it means you're gonna get a visitor. So maybe somebody's coming through tonight. I don't know. So, yeah, supposed to be an unexpected visitor. So we'll see. Now, so there was this video. This guy won a lottery ticket for I think $20 million or something, right? And the wife was like, "Oh, she deserves part of that money because he was married to her, and he used part of their marital money to buy that ticket." And it turns out he bought the ticket in the morning after, the same morning he got divorced, but afterwards. So when he went to the shop to get some beers and got the lottery ticket, he was already divorced. So now she had no claim to the money, right? So if he was still married to her, she would have taken at least half of it, right? But now he didn't have to give her anything. And it's the same thing with what you've got now. It's yours. You can build something that is yours that nobody else can touch. Of course, every good thing, somebody tries to attack it, but you can build it. You can build it. So your finances are important because the court takes a lot of money, it's very expensive, as we all know. It takes a lot of your time. So you want to give yourself a chance to get it back multiple times, right? And you need to find that strength because it's gonna be painful. You're gonna have to overcome a lot of grief, a lot of pain, a lot of hurt to do it. But to get your life back, do get those finances in order. Again, I'm not an expert on that, but I'm learning. Like I said, The Intelligent Investor is my favorite book on that, one of my favorite books on that. I think I'll make a list at another time of books that I think are good and the resources I'm learning from, and perhaps share with you as well. So the other thing is, which I do know about quite a bit, the third thing you have to focus on for yourself is, of course, dating. Now, I don't agree with the stance where men should give up on dating. I don't believe the stuff that people say that when you're over 30 or you're over 40 or over 50 or over 60 or whatever, you're done. That's bullshit. The reason why it's bullshit is, first of all, so many people believe it already, right? Which means a lot of men are just not dealing with women, which means there's more for you and more for me, right? You have a bigger selection. Don't buy into the myth that, oh, there's all something wrong with all these women and so on and so forth. The way people go about dating is wrong. And in fact, many of us got ourselves into this position because we dated the wrong way. I don't know why my nose is itching that way today. What is it? Is it because of the, or maybe the sugar? Wow, it's possible. Is that a thing? Like when you have too much sugar, then you have a reaction. It's possible, actually. So dating is a thing that you have to commit time to as well. A lot of people just, they just uh, let it happen. And that's not right. I remember, people, there was this taxi driver. So there was this girl that we're going somewhere. And he confused her for another girl that he had also picked me up the other time. And then he was trying to backtrack it. And she started laughing because she knew that, I have got other women. And she was laughing. And she said to him something to the effect of, ha, 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 you're trying to be a good friend, but I already know. But that's good. And then the driver was like, so what is it about him? Why are you interested in him like that? Like, why do you still want him? And they were like, he was like, oh, is it his hair? Is this that? She was like, no, it's something else. And she was laughing. But I mentioned this is because a lot of people see that and think, oh, it's something special, or they didn't see all the rejections I've had to get to the ones who wanted me. A lot of guys make the wrong assumption that a lot of rejections means you're doing something wrong. Not necessarily. If you think about it, you also reject a lot of women. How? By not approaching them, by not even being interested in them, right? You only notice the ones you care about. So you don't see how many women you find unattractive that you would never be with because you just don't want them. And some of them are not half bad, right? So you have to figure out how dating works. So the best thing I know is, look, you have to learn how to like yourself and do things for yourself first. So the first two things I talked about, finances and your health and so forth. Not because of women, because of yourself. You have to invest in yourself. You have to love yourself and care about yourself so much that you actually do things for yourself alone. You have to become a bit more selfish. You have to become more selfish. Think about yourself sometimes, and sometimes about yourself only. I'm not talking about taking advantage of people. I'm talking about, so let's say I like whiskey, right? So I'll buy myself a nice bottle of whiskey for me, not to flex that I'm drinking this or that to anybody, because nobody's even going to know about it. Or I might share it with somebody who deserves it or has earned that position in my life. But otherwise, nobody will know. I'll go to places, do things for myself that nobody knows about, that are really nice things for me. So dating starts with doing things for yourself, and that's where people go wrong, because they think that dating is about the other person. No, dating is about you. Let the other person, the other adult, worry about herself. You worry about you. You're not here to make anybody else happy. I believe that men lead, and the way we lead is we do things first. So however you want your life to be, don't wait for a female to come into your life before you build that life. You build it already for yourself, by yourself, and exclusively for yourself, just for you. Then, when you meet women, If they fit into that, you keep them. If they don't, you let them keep it moving. If they want to opt out, you let them keep it moving. Or you keep it moving yourself. And I hear people say, oh yeah, but that means I may have to meet 10 girls or 20 girls. I don't want to do that. Well, then dating is not for you. Dating is not, you can't play like a lottery ticket that you get and you think you the first time is going to be right. That's not how it works. And we've all done that mistake in the past, right? I've done it and I know you've done it. But dating is something you have to put an effort into. The other thing is, don't be spending a lot of money on dating. When someone wants to spend time with you, they don't care about where it is, as long as they get to spend that time with you. So that's why you have to put yourself in position to meet many women, so that the ones who fit into your lifestyle and want to be with you, you get to meet them. But do things that you already do. Don't do too much. That's another thing people do. Because now you're rushing yourself into a situation where where she feels like you owe her something. She feels like you're her boyfriend after like 2 weeks, and you may think, "Oh wow, this is so nice. I've got a nice woman who is having sex. Excuse me, having sex with me. She's enjoying my company. I'm enjoying her company," and you think it's great. But the problem with that is you don't know this woman. You have to get selective. You have to believe. Don't listen to all this nonsense that people talk about. Oh, all women are this, all women are that. No, there are women who are right for you out there. It doesn't matter that you're divorced. It doesn't matter that you were cheated on. It doesn't matter how bad your ex treated you. There are women who will worship the ground you walk on if you start building yourself up for yourself. Think about it. When you meet her, she didn't know you, but let's say she took care of her appearance, right? She looks good, she has a certain personality and so forth. She didn't know you. She put that work into herself, and then you saw the result of that work, and you were like, oh wow, I like that, right? And then you wanted to continue. It's the same thing on the flip side. You want to put work into yourself for yourself, just for you. And of course, when she sees this, she's like, oh wow, that's a man I don't come across often. Because let's be honest, how many men really invest in themselves? Let's be honest about it. And I'm not saying investing to impress women, because that's not investing in yourself. That's still investing in the woman. I'm saying, how many men really do things for themselves that nobody will know? Let's say you take yourself on a trip. You don't tell anybody that you're going on this trip. How often do you do that? How often do you buy yourself a nice dinner that you like? You take yourself out, you dress up, go to a nice place for yourself, by yourself, and just enjoy that. How many men do that? And people's like, oh, that's nothing, it's not going to help you. Okay, then don't do it. But try it and see. See the difference. How do you expect people, and we're talking about dating in this context, women, to treat you special when you don't treat yourself special? How do you want them to respect you when you don't respect yourself? How do you want them to follow your lead when you can't lead yourself? You have to overcome that resistance. You have to overcome that mindset of, I am just this, I'm just that, I'm just this little dear old me. No, you're a man. There are women desperate for a man, not just a male who, who exists, just exists. Not that your values made on that, but somebody who cares about himself, somebody who thinks highly of himself. You have to think highly of yourself. Don't believe in the societal bullshit of this fake humility. No, all humility means is you don't tell the world how highly you think of yourself. So when I say I'm the prophecy, you don't. I think of myself 10 times, 1,000 times higher than that. I am the truth. You have to be your truth to yourself, not to me, not to any woman, not even to your children, to nobody but you. That's how you become the rock, right? A rock does not say, oh, what should I be today? No, the rock just is. Oh, the sea is hitting me. Yeah, I'm not moving. You do it for yourself. When you center things around yourself, that's when your dating life improves after divorce. That's when all the bad things that happened to you in the past have less effect on you. And that's when you start attracting women that before might not pay attention to you because they realize, whoa, I can follow this guy. People, you see, this is the bullshit that pisses me off. They're like, oh, modern women don't follow. Who the fuck are they supposed to follow? If a man is not willing to lead himself, for himself, to do the best thing that is good for him, how is he going to lead her into something that is good for her? It's not going to happen. Of course, not all women will follow you, but you only deal with those who follow you. And if you think none will follow you, then that's what you're going to experience. But if you say to yourself, you know what? I'm not stepping below this standard. I'm never allowing myself to go below this again. Never. Right? So I can give you an example of one of my standards. I'm never, ever, ever going to be in a relationship where there's continuous arguments. I'll just end it. And I have ended situations where I realize, nah, this is not for me. Because I've realized that all those arguments is just pointless emotional drama that gives you nothing. It does not move you forward, does not move her forward. It's just drama, especially if it's over minor things or things that are actually good. If you're not a good fit, end it. There is more. Dating is not about a Disney story or what the society tries to tell us that, oh, you're going to meet the one. No, you're going to meet 100 and then you pick one. That's the one you've picked, the one you've chosen, right? You have to lead, but you don't wait for her to show up before you lead. You lead from day one. Like we said earlier, you're putting your health together. You have to lead yourself. You have to discipline yourself to improve your health. You have to find ways to get better, right? You realize, oh shit, I'm angry and pissed about my ex and what happened in court. Okay, so you have to grieve that. You have to lead yourself, improve yourself for you, like make your life better for yourself so you enjoy yourself, right? We talk about finances. You have to figure out, okay, what do I want financially? How do I get more money? Because there's so much money in the world, it's insane. You know, one thing I've not yet done this, and I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it's you can go online and every county, every city, every town, every country has got contracts that they just looking for people to bid on them, right? And some of them have some ridiculous high amounts of money provided you can deliver. Highly profitable. So one thing that I'm considering for the future to do. There's so many things that people don't think about that are available to them. So the time, you know, one person uses to cry, I mean, do your crying, but I'm talking about like just pointless bitching and moaning, complaining about women. That time, that 1 hour could be used to read a report on something that you know will be profitable to you and so forth. So when you do things that way, you start realizing you can attract a higher quality of woman. And when I say higher quality of woman, I don't just mean better looking or a nicer body. I mean a woman who actually, when you tell her, listen, I need you to go to town and get this for me, right? So, for example, one of my ex, well, we could call her an ex now, we didn't end up being together. We're still cool, on cool terms. But we didn't, you know, it wasn't working. But I said, listen, I need this and that equipment, you know, because I'm doing this work. Here's the list. Go to town, get it for me. She would do it. No, if, why, whatever. She would just go and get it. This is just an example, right? You have to find women who contribute to your life, and you have to believe that you deserve it. How do you believe that? By doing it for yourself first, by building the structure that gives you that. So that's what dating is about. That's what dating is about. So to recap quickly what we spoke about today, if she cheated on you, she took your kids, she took you through hell, right? And you feel down and you feel like it's over. You feel like this life is not working out the way you want it to work out. You have to climb out of that situation. Too many of us give up, and I've been there where I wanted to end it, right? And I got close. I got close to it more than once. So I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. The system does not care about you and me as men. They just want to use us. They want to take advantage of us, and they think we are workhorses for the world and for the woman. Yes, but we don't have to accept that. We don't have to become a slave class like they want us to be. But slavery starts here. They fuck with your mind first. So how do you unfuck your mind? You give yourself the things you deserve. You work for them for yourself. You build structures. You protect your finances. You know, if you're an employee, start building your business. Give yourself time, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years for it to flourish. Do that. Give yourself 5 years to get into a top shape. I know in 7 years' time, God willing, I'll be in better physical shape than I have ever been. But the only way I'll get there is if I keep working towards it. If you give yourself enough time, you don't have to do everything overnight. You do it in increments, and then you get exponential results. So that's your leadership. You build a thing, you build a structure. So then when you come to dating, a woman will have to follow you because you have built something that is so amazing. Without leadership, you cannot fit into it. It's going to be automatic. It's going to be amazing. Your children will respect you for it. No matter how they act, they are going to be proud. That's my father. And not that you will care. Once you get there, of course, you will love your kids, but you don't do this for other people. You have to start doing things just for yourself. And it's difficult. Because our mindset from childhood has been serve everybody, do everything for everybody, leave yourself to the last. I remember I went on this school trip, and I was in the older class, so we were giving out food. And there was not enough food yet. They were bringing more. The catering was bringing more food. So I made sure the younger ones ate, and I said I was gonna wait for the others. And they were like commending me that, oh wow, he left himself to the last. I was like, not really. I just thought they let the kids eat, the younger kids eat, and then we, the older ones, will eat when the other food comes, but they thought it was a big deal. And so I thought, okay, I always do things for others, which is good. Take care of others, but also think of how you're going to take care of yourself, and then do that. You cannot allow this divorce, this family courts, your children being away from you, parental alienation, all that stuff. Don't let that become your identity, because that's not you. You are bigger than that. You're bigger than that. So when people complain about rejection and da 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 da, da, I'm like, yeah, but why wouldn't they reject that? Why wouldn't a woman say no to a guy that is feeling sorry for himself? Like, I will not make friends with somebody who's feeling sorry for himself. You understand what I'm saying? I've taught people, listen, I like, let's say when I used to go to the pub, I don't do that so much. I've told people when they come to my table that I talk to us, listen, I like talking to you, but if the conversation is going to go down into feeling sorry for yourself, I'm not interested in being acquaintances, because I'm not, right? So it makes sense for a female to be like, nah, I don't want to be with this guy. I can't follow this guy's lead because he's feeling sorry for himself. And if you don't lead, then you're going to go wherever she wants to go. But she's not thinking about you, she's thinking about herself. If women have got one thing right, they know how to think about themselves. It's like it's been flipped. But the natural desire of a female is to find somebody who is stronger and more powerful than her. And likewise, a male also wants a female that has got certain things that he doesn't have, but it's not the leadership that he's looking for. The reason why you have to lead is you have a unique vision for the world, and only you can bring it to reality. So nobody else can make it happen. When you look at some of the biggest businesses, At some point, whoever founded those businesses and built them up had to be single-minded. Now, you may not like Steve Jobs. I like Steve Jobs. I don't like everything Elon Musk does. I think in real life, he's probably a twerp. But business-wise, he's a genius, right? Whatever you say of him, he's created products that people love, just like Steve Jobs. So you have to lead. You have to find it in yourself. And that's where, when you get to the court process, you are now a different kind of being that they've never met before. That's when you can start having ideas that they've never seen. When I've helped fathers, some of the things that we've done, they are rarely seen. And they seem crazy until you put in the time. Like some of the stuff, look, you say to yourself, listen, if we try this next week, it's not going to work. But this case is going to go on for at least 9 months. So why don't we start doing this today so that in month 7, we have this in place that they are not expecting, right? So, but most guys are focused, oh, I have a hearing next week or next month, and they're just going from hearing to hearing and so forth. That's not leadership. That's not leading. Leading means you look ahead. You go forward. You go first, right? So the point of today is, look, the system will always attack your weaknesses. That's what it is. Unfortunately, we live in a time where males are being devalued by the media, by the public, by the society, and you have males who actually advocate for it. That's very unfortunate. But that tells you cannot follow society. You have to become a leader. Regardless of what is going on around you, there is something you can always do for yourself that will make your situation better. So you have to do that. You have to become a man that the woman who hurts you looks at and she's like, damn. Like no matter what she hates you, she's gonna look at you and be like, oh, and you'll not even care. My nose keeps itching. It's so annoying. But you'll not care. And you have other women that you'll be like, wow, all due respect to the mother of my kids, but I like what I've got now. I like it. I like this woman now. And it's better than I've ever had it before. All this nonsense that you've gone through, you go to the other side of it and see how much bigger and how much more powerful you can be and how much more powerful you are. So that's what you've got to do. You've got to find the passion for yourself. So, you know, the basic premise of everything I teach is that the man is the most important element in a happy family. And the man must function with or without the family. That's what gives him the power. That's what makes him strong. Right? Like we rely on the sun. The only reason why we can have solar energy is because we know the sun will rise tomorrow. The reason why we can calculate time the way we do is because we know the morning will come. We can rely on the sun. The sun is not shining because of me or because of you or anybody else. The same sun that shine on Jesus Christ of Nazareth is the same sun that is shining on us still. It's the same sun that was shining on Muhammad, and it's the same sun that was shining on the ancient Sumerians. It's the same sun. It's still shining and it's going to shine 10 years from now. When King Henry, it was King Henry who was cutting his wife's heads off, the same sun is shining, right? But that's what you have to be. You have to become that powerhouse. You have to generate your own power for yourself, regardless of what's going on around you. That's the definition of a man. And that is the hardest thing to do on earth. And because we've got that power, that's why the system thinks they can take advantage of us, because we've got that power. So they want to enslave our minds so that we generate power, but we don't benefit. And they want to churn us, which they do when they get a chance. So now, because we live in a society where we do have certain freedoms, right? Don't let them fool you. We still have a good amount of freedom in the society. Whether it's true freedom or not, that's up for debate. But the freedom you have is you can think what you want to think. You can say to yourself, do you know what? I will generate this power for me. You don't have to announce it, but you start shifting your energy, right? So she wants to argue for an hour. But you can say to yourself, wait a minute. Instead of arguing with her for an hour, I could go to the gym for an hour. I could write that essay I've been thinking about for an hour. I can go and work on this car, and so on and so forth. That's the beauty of, when you're separated or divorced, you don't have to deal with her. You don't have to text. You can be like, you know what? Uh, if it's no, no, fine. Leave it. Spend that time on yourself. Don't give her ammunition to take to court and say, yeah, and then he said this and that to me, and that's controlling behavior or emotional abuse or whatever nonsense. Right? You stop that energy that it makes her feel powerful, because believe it or not, when a woman argues with a man, she feels like, wow, I'm powerful. Look at how I've got him all riled up. Take that power for yourself and let her go bother somebody else. Right? And build yourself up little by little. Start asking yourself, who am I allowing to steal my energy and my time? And start getting that time back for yourself. Where am I wasting money? Where am I wasting my attention? And start giving back to yourself. Right? And then the things that work for you, start doing those. And then start building structures and protections around them. It will take some work. Meet a good accountant. Once you have a business plan, talk to a good business lawyer. Start meeting people who are ahead of you in the areas where you want to improve. Start building yourself up. Start learning. No matter how good you are, what you do, learn a different lifestyle. I know a lot of great fathers. I meet fathers, I'm like, wow, you don't even realize how much you are smart about X, Y, and Z. And your boss is taking advantage of that. Think about how maybe a year from now, or 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you could have that advantage by starting a business around it. Start becoming reliable to yourself, where when you tell yourself, I'm going to do this and that, you're going to do it. Dedicate time to yourself. And that's how you harness back your power. That's how you become the man you truly are. Okay? So it makes me angry when when you go on social media, all people talk about is how bad it is. But nobody talks about the power we still have that nobody can take from us. People talk of the Matrix, but it's a good analogy. Actually, because I think I looked at in the dictionary. Let me see. So this is my paperback Oxford English Dictionary. Let me see. It talks about the Matrix in there. The Matrix. What's the Matrix? So the Matrix, an environment or material in which something develops, right? Mass of rock in which crystals or fossils are embedded. A mode, grid-like, was it? In which something is cast, a mode in which something is cast or shaped. Okay, a mode in which something is cast or shaped. So the matrix, if you take that definition, is the society that is shaping you. But you don't have to fit into it. Don't let the world fit you into a mold. That's when they can't define you. That's when it eludes them how you become so powerful, and that's how you have what you want. The whole point of today and everything is transcend the situation. Yes, they came at you and they still come at you. But don't let them take your soul from you. Don't let them take your love for yourself for you. And be a father even if you can't see your children. Be the father that your kids can brag about. Not again, you would like that. So it's not just for them, it's for you. Right? You want them to be able to say, wow, I'm proud of my father, because then they can be proud of themselves. When I was going through court, they had to justify, so the social workers that work for the court had to justify why I should see my kids. So what they wrote in the report, and I have to find that because it's been a while, they said, according to the research they quoted, the father helps the child form his identity. The child's identity is highly dependent on the father. And that stuck with me for a long time. And when we have all this identity politics, identity crisis, it's not surprising. So many fatherless kids, right? It's not surprising. And they even fool men to give up their identity as men. So you have to free yourself, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, right? None but ourselves can free our minds, like Bob Marley sang in his song. That's the whole point. And that's when the tactics that I teach in family courts, or you come up with your own tactics, your own ideas, that's when they work. That's when you get results that have never been seen before. That's why you become credible when you speak to the judge. That's when in your private life, you have a woman, you look at her, you're like, wow, why did I ever settle for anything less? Right? You build a life you are proud of. You build a life that gives you comfort. You build a life that you can brag about if you wanted to. So we are about to end the show. We're about to end the show. So listen, your assignment, your homework is go and think about what you really want, not what you think you can get, what you really want. And don't try to say what's realistic or not at this stage. Just be honest and ask yourself what you really want and what you really want to do. Right? If everything was perfect, outside of your kids, outside of your ex, what is it that you really want for yourself? Think about it, write about it, and start doing things that bring you closer to it. On the flip side, think of what you must discard from your life. What's the dead weight in your life? What's causing you from, to not get what you want in your life? What's depressing you? Again, give yourself time to grieve. Give yourself time to let go of it, right? So if you need help drafting your court papers, if you need help with a consultation, click on the link below in the description to go to bravefathers.com. If you just want to talk, I give everybody an unconditional, complimentary 1 hour complete consultation, right? So it's as if you were a paying client. You get everything you would get. It's not a pitch. It's not any, me trying to sell you anything. Of course, if you choose to get my services, I will offer them and you might take advantage of them, but I have a policy that you have to get actionable steps after that that actually bring you closer to the result you want. So click on the link below and go to bravefathers.com and get in touch through the form on there. I'm also putting more work now into my Substack newsletter. So I've had it for a couple of weeks now. You can go to bravefathers.substack.com. I'll put a link in the description as well to join Substack. Talk to me on X, send me on message. And I hope to see you again next week. So subscribe if you're not subscribed, like it, so more people can see it. Tell people about it. Anything you agree with, let me know in the comments. Anything you disagree with, let me know in the comments. No matter what, make it happen. And when in doubt, remember, you are the truth. And my name is John Paul from bravefathers.com, and I'll see you again next week. All the best.
fathers.com.